Hello everybody, this is my first commentary video. I would like to show you my game played a few days ago with a friend. We played it being seated in one room, but we have done this on PlayChess server. Time control was set on 40 minutes plus 20 seconds for every move starting from move 1, so it was pretty comfortable time setup for us. So maybe let's start the game. He's always playing b4 with white. Oh, maybe not always, sometimes f4. I forgot to mention that we are all both rated around 1800 ELO points, so we could say we're club players. My intention was to not go into main lines, which are not, of course, not very difficult to remember and to play, but I wanted to probably to make a surprise to him with my choice c6 and d5. I had a plan from the beginning. It was to exchange white colored bishop for a knight or for a bishop, which could be more preferable for me, and then put pawns on light squares. Maybe this color would could show it better, and stay with black colored bishop. So this was my opening idea, which I performed very well. Nobody cannot complain at this point. He has his black squared bishop looking over this diagonal, which is still open. Queen, we can say that queen is already somehow developed, but it will be probably a piece that will have to be rearranged somewhere else. Let's go on with moves. e6. Now, of course, the pawn before is being attacked, so it needs to be protected or something. Knight d7. Nothing special going on here. Normal developing moves. Knight f3, bishop d6. Of course, bishop e7 was also possible, but it seems like bishop here is more passive, and what is more important, it doesn't protect e5 square, which surely will be necessary in order to advance e6 pawn like this, right? And to fight for a center. So bishop d6 is much better, in my opinion. This is much better than bishop e7. Knight c3. Still nothing special is going on, but now I started to think really deeply, and I was thinking one other thing I forgot to mention. We are going to play 4 games in a match, and this was a first game. So with black, all I wanted at the beginning was to draw it. So now I started to think which pawn structure is better to draw that game. Of course, probably better pawn structure is something like, let's say, this is just variation. After castle, to take back with the c pawn, exchange heavy pieces on the c file, exchange light pieces, and to stay with kings, pawns, and push them all forward, block all the things, and to agree for a draw, on a draw. But after that, I started to think, what about knight b5? If I just make a castle, I will have to do something with my bishop, probably go to b8, which doesn't look very good in my opinion. It's just a lose of time, because after that I will have to go with pawn on a6 to attack a knight. Rook would be blocked for a move or two, I don't know. It always costs time, so why to do it? I decided to go a6. I'm not sure if it's a good move. I checked it with engine, but it's more strategical than just simple calculation. So at least it's on white color, so it doesn't collidate. Is there a word like that with a bishop? There's no collision with a bishop, alright? It doesn't collide, yes, it doesn't collide with bishop color. So I went a6, and now after d4, this move surprised me a bit, because of course all players know a rule that it's not a good idea to put pawns on the color of your bishop, and it seems that this center can be somehow closed, right? It's already somehow closed. There's just one move that can be made, that need to be made to close the center completely. Of course, white will have to make that decision. And after that I started to worry, what if these old pawns will go forward, threatening to gain space advantage, and threatening to place my bishop on b7, because if this pawn goes here, and due to the fact that exchanges on the b5 square favors white, the question is if that position which could arise would be favorable to me or for white. I wasn't sure, so I made a castle, which was also good, simple, normal move. And now, not having planned what to do if he push all this pawn, I decided to simply capture on c4, get a position like in Queen's Gambit, in many variations of Queen's Gambit, put my pieces like this, go with pawn, make some exchanges in the center, and be happy with equal position. Yeah, and be happy with a good bishop. That was my plan. So I exchanged on c4. He took back. I went e5, of course, to exchange more pieces, and he went for knight e2. I wasn't quite sure why he did it, because I don't see any purpose for that move. It opens bishop. Right. Now is the threat that he takes here. So I have to do something. But in my opinion I have simple choice.